What's up, friends? It's time for another lesson with CDK. In this video, we're going to go over how refreshing certain recovery moves works. Most of you probably already know that with Marth or the Marios, doing aerial side Bs can help with recovering because these moves briefly suspend you in the air while allowing you to move slightly horizontally during their animation. But after the first aerial side B, subsequent aerial side Bs don't help with recovering nearly as much as the initial one. This happens because you actually have to refresh your recovery move. So how do you refresh these moves? It's actually pretty simple. You just have to make sure that you undergo the normal landing animation. This means you can refresh your recovery move by wave dashing, wave landing, or by landing normally. These moves do not refresh if you land with any attacks, with aerial interrupts, or with no impact lands. Here's a full list of recovery moves that can be refreshed this way. Obviously, some are used more than others, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to include all of them. In addition to the previously mentioned refresh methods, Mario and Dr. Mario's down Bs can also be refreshed by landing on the ground during their down B animation. In a similar fashion, their side Bs can also be refreshed by landing during the cape animation. Luigi's Cyclone is a weird case in that it needs to be charged before you can use it as a recovery move. This is usually done by just performing a down B while on the ground. You can only gain vertical distance with an aerial cyclone when it's charged. There's actually a lot of interesting details about how Luigi's down B works, so I'll be going over this move in more detail in next week's tutorial. Right now, all you need to know is that this move needs to be recharged every time you use it to recover. Grapples are also recovery methods that need to be refreshed, but aren't nearly as nitpicky. To refresh grapples, all you have to do is stand on the stage again. Usually after using a recovery move, it's crucial to remember to refresh it, especially if you're at risk of being sent off stage again. Applying all this information to your play can really help make a difference in your recovery and survivability. Alright, so that's pretty much all you need to know about refreshing recovery moves. Hopefully this tutorial has taught you how to ensure that your recovery moves help you make it back to the stage. In last week's Comment Wars, Westballs, Nun, and Zane were your top 3 edge cancelers. I definitely agree with this. These guys pull off some of the craziest plays I've ever seen with their edge cancels. It seemed like most people thought that the space animals, Marth, and Ganondorf benefit the most from edge canceling, which makes perfect sense to me. For space animals, edge canceling allows them to have more movement options with their side B, and for characters like Marth and Ganondorf, edge canceling can make their aerials significantly faster. For this week's Comment Wars, I want your opinion on the following scenario. In my opinion, a part of why most low and mid-tier characters are bad is because their recoveries are subpar, if not horrible. Suppose these characters had their up Bs replaced with Fox's up B. Would this improve them enough to make them viable against the top tiers? Would any characters jump up the tier list if this change was made? Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thanks a lot for watching. If you learned something new from this tutorial, or even just enjoyed watching it, please do me a favor and give this video a like, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. See you next week.